can't even lie, I am stressed. 1-1. That bloody Molyneux. What the fuck can I even say, guys? It feels like an L, yeah. And you know what? I think that's the biggest compliment I can give the team. It feels like a loss. It really feels like a loss, to be honest. And we've come a long way because we come here and we lost twice last season, yeah. And I wouldn't even say it felt like a loss because, like, we just weren't good today. I think our centre backs played well. They stepped out well. We dominated for large spells. Like, their man turned up for 5 minutes, sucker punch, man, and went home. Like, it was literally a smash and grab. I don't know how other way to best describe the game other than that. I thought we'll start from the back. The hair didn't have anything to do. Lindelof and Maguire were very comfortable. They stepped into the midfield very well. A lot of people were talking about, oh, we need to play a back five. What you got to realise is, you see, Wolves, they play there too, they don't press the centre-backs. So the centre-backs, if they're ball playing, they can step into the midfield and actually build the attacks. And we were building a lot of the attacks from in their half with our centre-halves. There are many times when Maguire was in the middle third starting attacks. He did that very well today. Wan-Bissaka was brilliant as usual. Didn't put a foot wrong. Defensively, very solid. I don't think anyone got past him. You can come past. I don't think anything came past him at all. Luke Shaw going forward was very good in the first half. Like, you guys know I get onto Luke Shaw. I'm a fair guy, bruv. Attacking wise, he's very negative. Today, first half, I seen him in the opponent's box more times than I saw him for the whole of last season. So credit where it's due. But second half, when Traore come on, he ripped him a new one, bruv. Ripped him a new one. But I don't even think that's Luke Shaw's fault. Fair enough, Luke Shaw ain't got no pace, yeah. Like, not real pace, innit? Like that recovery pace. But Traore is rapid, innit? Like, he can catch pigeons. So, like, I can't blame Shaw for him getting his ass torn open, yeah. So, do you know what I mean? Like, this is a light-hearted one because, honestly, it feels like a loss. But at the same time, yeah. At the same time, after losing twice here, guys, like, if you think that nobody really came here and won last season, a draw's not the end of the world. It's not a terrible result because I said before, I don't expect us to make top four. So a draw at Wolves ain't the end of it's not the end of the fucking world, man. Do you know what I mean? I thought McTominay was terrible today. This is the second game in a row he's been bad. Like, I'm not going to spend any time, like, talking him down or whatever. We know what McTominay is, innit? Like, obviously I call him Sergio Biscuits and that and gas him up and that, and I have to, innit? He's our player, but he's a very basic player. He's a very limited player, and also he's a player playing out of position. We shouldn't forget that. He's not a defensive midfielder, innit? So what you're going to get from him is he will have good games, but ultimately it's square pegs and round holes at the moment. Like, so this is another game where he hasn't played well. But I'm not going to blame him, really, like, because we know what he is, bruv. We know that our midfield's light, it lacks quality and stuff like that. So I'm not going to sit here and cuss McTominay out, bruv. Pogba missed a penalty today. Other than that, I thought he had a good game. Like, it wasn't an amazing game. It wasn't an amazing game, sorry, but this wasn't a game for the midfield. This game was really about our attackers because Wolves sat so deep. And condensed the midfield so much that this game today wasn't really about them. It was about what the guys in the final third can do to create chances and openings to get that goal. So the game really bypassed the midfield. Even Neves scored a brilliant goal today, but he wasn't influential in the game in any way, shape or form. This wasn't a game for the midfielders. Pogba missed a penalty. One thing I'd say on that is Ollie's come out and said that there's no designated penalty taker, and basically it's between Rashford and Pogba. I hear all of that, but I blame Ollie for today. Well, I don't blame Ollie for today, but I blame Ollie for the fact that we don't have a designated penalty taker. Because me, at my club, I love Paul Pogba. You see me, any club I manage here, the striker takes the penalties. Because strikers get paid to score goals, guys. Like, a striker does shooting practice every day in training, bruv. These men will strike the ball at the goal 100 times. It's muscle memory, it's practice, it's repetition, it's repetition. Like, nobody strikes a ball at a goal more cleanly than a centre forward. Well, they shouldn't anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, my striker takes the fucking penalties, innit? Marcus Rashford's good at pens, I've told you already. He took the PSG one, he took the one for England. The last penalty he took was very well struck, and Marcus has a lot of limitations. He didn't play well today, but he takes very good penalties. So he should have taken them. Next up, Jesse Lingard. First half, I thought Jesse was very good. I thought he pressed well. He done all the ugly work that he's never going to get credit for. He carried the ball in the midfield. I thought first half in general we were brilliant. Like, I thought we were really good. It was a boring game, but even though it was a boring game, like, we did everything right. Do you know what I'm saying? We got the goal, should have got a second. And football is a game of momentum. When you do not capitalize when you're on top, you can always get sucker punched. And that's what happened today. That's why I'm not angry. I'm upset, guys. I'm upset because I feel like we threw this game away. Marcus Rashford today, he wasn't good. He wasn't good. Like I said, Marcus always gives you glimpses. He gives you glimpses of quality. Like there was a cross that he put in where he cut back down a skill, whipped it in, and then it was a mad thing. But other than that, Rashford's link play is terrible. I've told you about that already. Marcus Rashford's spatial awareness is poor, and he plays with his head down. He's very greedy. There was a chance that he should have given to Jesse Lingard, and he opted to go on his own, and he'll always do that. And this is what I think his football IQ, spatial awareness and understanding of the game is the reason why he'll never get to that next level. Do you know what I mean? It's not because I don't like Rashi, because as I explained in my video earlier, I like Rashford as a guy. Like, I don't know him personally, but I think he's a good lad, innit? But I just feel like he's greedy and he lacks football IQ. He's very raw. And like, for instance, the penalty that Pogba won, he played that into Martial. Martial's link play was 10 out of 10 as usual today. Got the ball, flicked it to Pogba. And we scored a similar goal to that last season, but I think it was the other way around. Martial played it to Pogba, Pogba backheeled it, and then Martial scored. I think it was against Everton, but don't quote me. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, let me know in the comment section, guys. I'm not really sure. Was it against Everton? I do not know. Or is it against someone in blue and I'm just tripping? I don't really know. But it was a similar kind of goal. And if you play that into Rashford there, if Pogba plays that into Rashford, he doesn't get it back. Rashford probably tries to turn and shoot on his own and loses it or something like that, because he does that. You know what I mean? That's what you get with Marcus. You'll get moments of brilliance, but he's not a brilliant player. Do you know what I mean? But he will give you moments of absolute brilliance, and the kid could take a fucking pen. Daniel James today, I was happy with him. Like, he did what I knew he could do. The reason why I said I wouldn't start DJ is because the reason I wouldn't start him, he's very raw. He's got lots of pace. He uses his body well, to be fair. You could tell that he's played in a physical league. He's a small lad. He uses his body well. It was never a yellow card. The referee played to the crowd. The crowd were on his back. What he does well is, because he's used to being clattered, he backs into people and he draws fouls. He's a very intelligent player, man. But his final ball and his decision making is crap. And I've been saying that, like, that can be improved though. So I'm not writing him off, but I would have never started him. Like, I would have liked to see him come on with 20 minutes to go and really kill Wolves, but we played almost all of our cards at the beginning, and I was a bit worried that, like, if plan A didn't go, like, what was the plan B? Because what was the plan B? Because we had Mason on the bench and Ollie waits till the 88th minute to bring him on, so I'm just like, what the fuck? So yeah, Daniel James, like, it was an alright performance, but he didn't, like, I don't have very high expectations from him, to be honest, because he's teething at the moment. And Martial, brilliant goal, great finish. I've been screaming for him to play in the 9, and he's doing it now, and he's scoring goals, guys. You know what I mean? His link play is very good as well. I don't think he had the most service today. I don't think he had the best service, should I say, but overall, I was happy with his performance. I can't look at Martial's performance today and be like, oh, it wasn't good enough, or yeah, I don't know. It was one of them games where I just don't feel like, for all the ball we had, we didn't create enough. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to critique the striker on anything other than the fact that he got his goal, man. Do you know what I mean? So because of that, guys, all in all, like, yeah, like, it's a weird one, because even though I'm down that it feels like we lost and all that, like, I honestly can't blame too many people for this fucking result. Like, it was just it was one of them days. It was a sucker punch. So yeah, let me know what you think about the game. All in all, Neves' goal was a worldie, guys. It was a worldie. Like, literally, if they did that corner 99 times, yeah, out of 100, like, either Neves doesn't strike it that well and De Gea saves it, or it goes over the bar. But that was an absolute, that's one of the goal of the season contenders. That stanchion, bounce, came out, everything. It was a worldie, innit? When you get beaten by a shot like that, you just gotta hold your fucking hands up, bro. Like, and just say, you know what, yeah, this guy's techie. I remember I've been saying about Neves for the time. I've been saying, yo, like, we need this you. And then he does that to us. Bro, like, it is what it is, innit? Like, the game is the game. Sometimes you have to hold your hands up and say, yo, this guy's dark, innit? So, with everything in mind, I'm okay, guys. Like, honestly, I know some of you that are gonna be really upset. This stadium is really nice, by the way. Like, the atmosphere here is mad. Like, in terms of atmosphere, it's one of the best stadiums that I've been to, because it's very small and condensed, and it looks really nice. But yeah, what I would say, I'm cool in it. I did say that I don't think we would get top 4 anyway. So, like I said, I'm managing my expectations this season, guys. I think that we'll finish just outside of the top 4, and a draw away at Wolves is not a bad result. It just feels bad because of how the game went, because we are pretty much in control the whole of the game. Wolves showed up for 5 minutes, stole our food, bruv. Like, that's exactly what happened. Do you know what I mean? We're having a nice little picnic. Their man just flew down, grabbed the sandwich out of man's hand and dipped, fam. That's exactly what happened. So because of that, I'm upset. But in the grand scheme of things, 1-1 draw at Molineux is not the end of the fucking world, yeah? So let me know what you feel about the game. Let me know what you feel about the penalty situation. I've heard that on Sky Sports they're making a big fucking deal out of it. Of course they are, bruv. Their man have got the Pogba agenda. I don't blame Pogba for missing the penalty. People miss penalties, bruv. But Pogba shouldn't be on penalties. It's for Ollie to say, yo, Rashford's a penalty taker, or Martial's a penalty taker. I want my strikers taking pens. Do you know what I mean? You don't know I love Pogba. But for me, Rashford dispatched that penalty so well last week. He had to be on that. Do you know what I mean? And that's because the manager hasn't designated a penalty taker. So I'm not blaming the player. I'm blaming the manager. It's that simple. And that's coming from a place where now, like, I've got a team as well. Like, my striker's taking penalties. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, like, it is what it is, guys. Yeah, just chins up, man. It's going to be a long fucking season. We played well, like, compared to the last couple times I came here and watched us get slapped. I'm pretty happy with the performance, man. We've improved. It's small steps. And yeah, man, just keep it interactive. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Big up yourselves.